And tonight we are going to share with you from the school counseling department all things you need to know for freshman and sophomore parent night. So welcome. First and foremost, I hope all is well with you and your families as we are starting off this amazing school year. We've gotten off to a great start. A little bumps maybe with some scheduling, but we're working that all out as we transition from September and now already October 7th. And tonight, joining us initially, we have Mr. Book, one of 6 fantabulous, super awesome school counselors here at Teaneck High School, as well as Ms. Janelle Hidalgo. She is one of the awesome and dynamic counselors within the forum. So we're going to get started. I am going to present a PowerPoint. And also this presentation is being recorded and it will be available for view at a later date. If some of you are unable to, join us live tonight, we will be recording it and presenting it later. Another little tidbit, the chat or the question Q&A is open. So as the presentation is going through, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them into the Q&A and we will answer them towards the end of the evening. I am going to turn off my mic and camera and allow Mr. Book to take us through this evening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cooper and Ms. Hidalgo. Families, thank you for coming. We know you had a long day at work and your respective lives, so thank you. Like the slide says, freshman and sophomore parent night, meeting the needs of the whole student. So you'll see this slide right here. It says, meet the administration. This is an incredible team. The principal of the entire building is Pedro Valdez III. The 9th grade and 11th grade principal is Miss Margot Todman Mack. 10th and 12th grade principal is Justin O'Neill. 9th grade dean is Natasha Green. And for the 10th grade, Jason McDonald is the dean. Next slide. And this is my department. We're led by Miss Keisha Golden Cooper. Myself is one of the counselors, Miss Lillian Garcia, Kelvin Reese, Beth Fleischer, who's the team's counselor, and more. Charisma Bettis, formerly known as Miss Mitchell, and the wonderful Jennifer Taylor. We also have in our office the student assistant coordinator and anti-bullying coordinator, Miss Adrienne Williams, who is always at your disposal. And then the heartbeat of the department, Miss Sheila Moore and Kim Dockery. So I won't read the entire slide. I'll just tell you what our department's mission is and goal is. Our number one goal is to help students grow as young adults and find their stride. So we address 3 needs. It's a 3-prong process: academic, career vocational, and most importantly, social emotional. When we're coming back from a pandemic, this is very vital. A lot of the times students that transition from middle school to high school don't spend that much time with their middle school counselors for whatever reason, just the way middle school is set up. But in our department, we have an open door policy. So please know that students and families are always welcome to come see us. We're with your child for all 4 years. So once we build that rapport, we can keep it going for the entire career. Utilize us. I like to say we're human bridges. We're the connection to the teachers, administration, outside stakeholders, you name it, but we're the human bridge. If you need answers, we're like Radio Shack, just ask us. You can hit us on our direct lines, you can email us, and like I said, you could come in. We really love face-to-face interaction. So we just really like to make our students know that they can come to us, utilize us, and we grow together as a team. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Next slide. The school counselor. I'm going to read each bullet point just because I want it to resonate, because sometimes students think counselors only make schedules, which is, yes, a big part of our job due to the fact we have to make sure you graduate, have a certain standard of academic rigor, and also be on pace to go to secondary education such as college, entrepreneurship, military, whatever you so desire. So scheduling is important, but we do much more than that. Like I said, we're the human bridge. So we assist and support students in all phases of academic, personal, social, and post-secondary planning. Like I stated, we provide individual and group counseling as needed. We advocate for students. And that is such an important word in high school, advocate. We tell students they have to advocate for themselves. If you're not getting the treatment you think you deserve or the things you need, come tell us and we'll do it together. You're not alone in high school. Yes, we want you to become adults, but we have to advocate together, and it helps us build and grow as a team. We act as a resource for teachers, parents, administration. And the most important thing is we collaborate. Everything is not individualized. We're a team and there's no egos in our department. So let's say your child doesn't like working with their specific counselor. If they feel more comfortable with somebody else, that's okay for them to talk to them, but just keep us abreast and in the loop so everybody's on the same page. Next slide, please. I'm going to pass this slide to the wonderful Miss Hidalgo, who's one of the best counselors in the building, and she'll tell you what her amazing department does for our kids.
Thank you, Mr. Book. Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Hidalgo. I'm one of the counselors in the forum. So I'm just going to go over a little bit of what we do at Teaneck High School. The forum's mission is to inspire positive emotional, physical, social, and academic development of Teaneck residents enrolled in Teaneck High School through comprehensive and easily accessible services. So we are grant funded by the New Jersey Department of Children and Families, the Division of Family and Community Partnerships, the Township of Teaneck, the Teaneck Public Schools, and the Bergen County Department of Human Services. So all of our services are free because we're fully funded. They're available to all Teaneck students enrolled in high school and their families. All services are free of charge, and we're located in room 127. So we're open as well 12 months out of the year, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the only time that we're closed is when Teaneck high schools are closed. So Teaneck public schools are closed. Unfortunately, we're also closed. So we offer a full range of services that gives you a chance to get involved, get advice, and get help wherever you need it. So the following, as you can see, are services that are offered free of charge: individual group counseling, crisis, family counseling, employment assistance. So we do offer employment enrichment programs, so where you can sign up to participate in career development, life skills training, employment placement, as well as community service placement. And students can obtain jobs in the community and attend workshops with interviewing skills, resume writing, etc. We do offer recreation opportunities. So prior to the pandemic, we did have field trips that are also free of charge. You could sign up for those. So hopefully we'll get those hit. Once January hits, we will be able to give you more information to see if those trips will be available again. As well as open gym, which is starting up at the end of the month, I believe. So we do have open gym for volleyball and basketball, academic sports. So we do have a Strive tutoring program, which is just the tutoring program if your child ever needs any extra help, just really needs a study buddy, help with homework completion. Strive program is available. We also have referrals for if you ever have anything that, access to community services, mental health counseling, that you will be beneficial, then we would also refer you to that. And we have a lot of presentations and workshops throughout the school year that we do announce to the families. And the confidential counseling is very important. So we are all master's level counselors. So all our services are confidential when it comes to counseling. And our students do take advantage of that. We are available throughout the school day for the students to come meet with us. We are available just by an email if you ever feel like you want to refer your child or your child's friend. We get referrals from teachers, from deans, guidance counselors. So I will post in the chat where you can email us if you ever feel like you would want your student to be or your child to be enrolled in counseling. Thank you. So that's pretty much it for the forum. I don't think I have anything else to say. Later on, I'll go over a little bit more.
All right, I'm back, families. Thank you, Miss Hidalgo. So This is a very important slide. Parent avenues of communication. How do I contact THS faculty? So all emails are the first initial of the faculty member's first name and then the entirety of their last name at tnxschools.org. How do I receive information? We send mass emails, robocalls. We utilize a database called Naviance, which is a lifeline of communication, which is a wonderful tool, and we'll get into that later on. We have bi-weekly newsletters. Skyward is our grade database, how you can keep up with your student and with your child's performance in the classroom, missing assignments, attendance, etc., etc. With attendance, you can also contact the respective grade deans that we talked about. They handle attendance, discipline, and much more. But if you ever have questions about that, you can contact us, obviously, but it's much better if you go directly to the dean. Utilize our updated school website at www.tnxschools.org. It's really user-friendly, and they've made some great updates. Also, if you get a chance, please download the THS app. It has a plethora of information. It's also a good way to know what's going on in your student's life, your child's life. It's very important because, as we both know, sometimes they forget to tell us details. So it helps you know what's going on all the time. And like I previously stated, you'll get district robocalls. Thank you. Next slide. Skyward. Like I just previously mentioned, this is the grade database. So you'll know when assignments are missing, what grade they currently have, and you can also follow the grades instantaneously. So it's very important so so you can see what assignments are missing, when tests and quizzes are happening. So this way you can have the conversations at the kitchen table or wherever you talk and make the best of it. So I'll just go through each bullet point because I think it's really important for everyone to know these things. So access the students' grades and report cards, as I stated. You could sign up for homework alerts. This way you never fall behind. You could check attendance. When we do scheduling, you can input your electives for course registration. You can sign up for parent-teacher conferences, which is vital. So you know who's teaching your child, so you know who to communicate with if you need answers, if you need things to improve or fix any matter necessary. Parents and students have separate access. This is good because you can't always believe everything a student tells you, not saying they omit details, but this way everybody knows what's going on and we can meet in the middle. And lastly, you can contact the school counselor for login and password information if you do not have it. It's our ultimate pleasure. We have direct lines and you can call us at any time during the day. Next slide, please. Naviance. This could be one of the greatest, I would say, databases for junior high school and high school kids in the country. I would be so bold to say that. So what Naviance is I'll go over the bullet points in a minute, but you primarily use this the most in senior year because that's where you keep your supporting materials for the college process when you're applying to colleges and universities. But you can also look up scholarships. You can also do career inventories. You could also watch videos that can spark interest, that can make you have a new passion. And you can come down to the guidance office and meet with your counselor, and they can go over all this information with you. They can give you a username and a password, and then you can really just play around with it, and you really learn so much. But you use it the most in 12th grade, but 9th, 10th, and 11th graders should definitely utilize all the information that's accessible to the students. So it's really wonderful. So I'll just go over all the bullet points just so it's a little clear. Naviance is a web-based resource for students and parents that encourages and supports post-high school career and college planning. Like I said, you could do a career planning inventory. You could search colleges and universities. There's over 5,500 in the country. So you have a lot of options. And success planning. So you can set goals through your high school career. And when you meet these benchmarks, it will make the path that you're taking much clearer and easier to achieve. So Naviance is a great tool. And if you don't know your password or username, students and parents, just call us and we'll get you situated immediately. Next slide, please. How to get in. Like I said, you could contact the counselor, but the website is www.schoolcounselor.org. student.naviance.com/TNEC. But if you just call us, it's much easier if we just set you up. So once you give us a call and we give you the website, like I said, you can play around with it. It's just really a good thing to do because it's just such great information with testing, career, and future plans. So it's definitely something you should get acclimated with. Next slide, please. Okay. Typical schedule. So to graduate from TNEC High School, you need 140 credits. So each year you'll take your core classes, which include English, math, science, and history. With English, you need 4 years. With math, you need 4 years. Science, 3. History, 3. Gym and health, you need 4 years. And then 1 year foreign language to graduate. 2 looks better for for college admissions. And if you want to go for 4 years, that's also an excellent option too. And then we have incredible electives in our curriculum guide. If you ever get a chance, please go on the website, look at the curriculum guide, because our electives are some of the most robust in Bergen County. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. We have some of the most college preparedness when it comes to our electives. So if the student is struggling to figure out kind of what path they want to take or what they want to do, we have so many electives for you to try and learn it. So as it says on the bottom, 8 classes, 40 credits. But when you become a junior and senior, you're eligible for a study hall/open period. And we could talk about that as your career goes on. Next slide, please. Okay, I mentioned the amount of credits and the amount of how many years of each course you have to take. So if you I'll just review this really quick. For English, you need 20 credits, which is 4 years. For mathematics, 20 credits, 4 years. Gym and health, 20 credits, 4 years. History, 15 credits, 3 years. Science, 15 credits, 3 years. World language, as I said, 1 year equals 5 credits. Then you need 1 year of fine art, 1 practical business, 1 financial literacy, and then the electives equal out to 32 and a half, and then totals 140 to graduate. The reason we do the 140 is in New Jersey, it's 120 credits to graduate, but TNEC High School does a 4-year math requirement, which elevates our transcripts and gives our students the edge with college admittance. I'm going to pass this slide over to Ms. Hidalgo, and I'll return in a minute.
So TNEC High School has a lot of clubs for students to get involved in. This is just a very small snippet of some of the clubs that we do offer. So I'm going to go over the ones that are listed right here. Studio 2B, it is a non-traditional Girl Scout troop. I actually am the advisor of that club. So we focus on women empowerment, bonding, leadership, community service. We do sell Girl Scout cookies. We do earn badges. We don't wear uniforms or do any of the outdoor activities. So that's available for all female students. Annual Appreciation Club is no longer active, but if there's students that are willing to, make the club come to fruition again and find an advisor, that is possible. It was active a very long time ago prior to pandemic. Interact Club is a youth service club run in cooperation with the TNEC Rotary. So it really focuses on community service. Connections, I also run that is for students that are new to TNEC High School, it helps them ease their transition into TNEC. ACE mentoring program stands for architecture, construction, management, engineering. So it's really, if your child is interested in pursuing a career in any of those, they're hooked up with mentors that help them interact with, people in those careers. And then you can see a few other clubs. HEAL Mentoring is a mentoring program for girls in the high school to mentor younger girls in the middle school. The male counterpart of that is Solve. Spectrum is the LGBTQ plus Alliance Club. And then all the other clubs are pretty self-explanatory. Your child does not have to identify with any of these clubs personally. They can support just the missions of each club. We recommend that the students just try out, just show up. If they don't like it, that's okay. There's no deadline for students to join clubs. It's like a rolling basis. They can go 1 week to one club. If it runs on the same day as another one, they can alternate. It looks really good on their college transcript that they're active and they're just being social or trying to interact, take leadership positions. They could run for e-board presidents of these clubs. They can help to make a lot of positive change through these clubs. And the good thing about Teaneck High School as well is that if you see a club that if you don't have something that is out there yet, they can make their own club. They just need 2 other students and a teacher that is willing to advise them, so they can make up their own club as well. So we will hopefully have a more comprehensive list of the clubs somewhere on the Teaneck website, the Teaneck High School website. We're still kind of trying to get all the information of when the clubs meet. For now, we do have a small list available. You can probably email your student's dean or maybe guidance counselor. We'll try to get that information to you if you want a more comprehensive list of all the clubs that are available at this moment. And like I said, it's like a changing document because there's always new clubs being added to it. So if you have any questions, just write it in the chat and I'll be happy to answer that for you. Thank you.
Ms. Cooper? Oh.
Well, welcome to Teaneck High School. We can't wait for you to join our Teaneck High School family. We hope you will be a part of our athletic program and we will take this journey together. I'm David Murphy, athletic director. My administrative assistant, Chantel Gratino. Our athletic trainer, Dr. Kenneth C. Lack. And our nurse Kathy Dyke. In the fall, we participated in boys cross country, girls tennis, girls cross country, cheerleading, girls soccer, football, girls volleyball, and boys soccer. If you would like to find out more information about these sports, please contact our coaches via email. In the winter, we play basketball for the boys and girls, bowling, girls and boys, swimming, boys and girls, indoor track and field, girls and boys, girls fencing, boys fencing, competition cheer, and wrestling. If you'd like to get in touch with our coaches, please send them an email at the email address is listed here. In the spring, we play baseball, softball, boys volleyball, tennis, track and field and spring for girls and boys, girls crew, and boys crew. If you'd like to get in touch with our coaches, find out more information, please send them an email. The rich history of student athletes competing at the collegiate level. Our student athletes compete at college levels, division 1, 1AA, 2, and 3. We have student athletes that come out of Teaneck High School that compete in various conferences across the country, including ACC, Independent, NJAC, NAIA, A10, and AAC. Student athletes are competing at the professional level as well as competing in the Olympics. We have former student athletes that are in or have played in Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, National Football League, are part of USA Swim and USA Fencing. But we currently, and in our near future, have student athletes that are participating or will participate in sports at various colleges, including University of Rhode Island, Clemson University, and the Navy. So how do I participate? First, I register on a family ID for each sport that I'm interested in, one sport per season, and use the same login from season to season. Get a physical. Complete any COVID-19 requirements. Download the THS app as seen on the right for any updates. When you register on family ID, if this is the landing page to come to, you're in the right spot. We thank you for your continued support of Teaneck High School athletics. We hope that you choose to participate and come, and we can't wait to see you in the fall. Go Teaneck.
Mr. Book?
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. So this is a wonderful picture. I'm beardless now, but I still think I'm handsome. But from left to right, we have Ms. Moore, one of our secretaries, Ms. Garcia, who's a counselor, Ms. Williams, who I mentioned earlier, is our SAC and anti-bullying coordinator, Ms. Fleischer, who's a counselor, Ms. Taylor's a counselor, as well as Ms. Bettis. And Mr. Reese is also another counselor, and Ms. Dockery is another secretary in the department. And you can see we have Google Classrooms for the 9th and 10th grade. If you can, take them down tonight. If not, we can also have access to the PowerPoint later on.
Ms. Hidalgo?
You want to do a message?
So we have she may have been having some technical difficulties as I did just a minute ago, but this is our wonderful forum staff. We have Mr. Campestri, who is the forum coordinator. Miss Acevedo has moved on to another place of employment. But however, we do have an awesome dynamic Teaneck alum who will be joining our forum team in the next couple of weeks. We have the wonderful Miss Hidalgo, who has joined us this evening. We have Miss Alexander. We have Miss Witter, or as if she was on, she would say, my other name is Mama Witter. She does a little bit of everything and with a lot of love. And we have Mr. Barnes, who sits at the front to make sure that our students are welcomed and also assists with youth development programs. Mr. Book.
All right, thank you, Ms. Cooper. Next steps. All right, this is so important. Communicate with your school counselor. Communication, communication, communication. It's like real estate, but with talking. It matters, all right? So you got to explore Naviance, like I said. We can give you further information on that in a one-on-one session, on a phone call, by email, whatever the case may be. We encourage good grades and great study habits. Not everybody has to be an A/B student. You have to be your personal best. And there's an expression I use, C's get degrees. So keep that in the back of your mind. And sometimes students are average in high school, and when they get to college, they catapult to the top. So it's a process. Also start thinking about post-high school plans. It's never too early. Like there's a joke in the department. For me personally, when I call my freshmen down, I do this corny joke. I say blink, and they blink, and then I say you're already a senior. It goes that fast. So don't put yourself in a hole in ninth grade, because it's very hard to dig out of. So we got to communicate, work hard, and work together. Next slide. And you can see this is the students' hard work, their blood, sweat, and tears. I like to say, as a counselor who does the college process, all college is good college. And please, ladies and gentlemen, and all people, do not sleep on community college. Bergen Community College is one of the best schools in New Jersey. It's a great starting point. It's fiscally responsible, but we do have incredible four-year schools, and we do get our kids into amazing places. They earn it, but just keep in the back of your mind, community college as well. It's a very great option, and these are all incredible schools as well.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And I'm going to join us back. Hopefully my technology works. There we go. And I was hoping Ms. Williams was, I'm not sure if she's on. Ms. Williams, if you were able to join us this evening, if you can just hit the raise hand button, because I'd like to bring you on over to kind of talk about some of the great things that you do for our students and with our students. Oh, there you go. I see you. Thank you. I'm going to pull Miss Williams over. Miss Williams is a dynamic person who I'm going to promote her to panelist, who will come and share some of the. Did I do it? There we go. Ms. Williams will come on over and share out some of the awesome things that she does and the programs that she provides to our students and the support and resources. Ms. Williams, you're over. How's your camera? There you go. Okay, I did it. Ms. Williams, we did it.
Hello, everybody.
You look wonderful. So we also like to have a lot of fun in this department. One of the core components that I always say, especially coming into this year, is every day we got to laugh, because the work is hard enough. We're here to support your students and you as well. So we do like to have a lot of fun. So without further ado, Ms. Williams, can you just share a little bit about all the wonderful things you do for the district, but specifically for Teaneck High School?
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm here I'm the student assistant coordinator for the district. I work with all students from grades K to 12. I also will provide I'm your child's additional support in the building. So, when they can't see their guidance counselor, if the guidance counselor, school counselor is not available or out, I'm here right in the office next to one of the counselors. We have services available Monday through Friday. And I also help the freshmen, especially the freshmen and sophomore now, because they haven't been with us. So I'm able to provide all of the training. I go into the health classrooms and teach them about, social emotional development, looking for the hot spots to develop and learn how to navigate through the system. We talk about career counseling, making healthy decisions, appropriate behavior in the building, getting involved, actively involved with volunteering, understanding employment, because they can be involved at this stage, getting involved in the services through the forum. Tutoring, if they need any additional academic support. There's tutoring through the National Honor Society and through the forum that they can participate in. So I'm here to help them navigate through the school system, and anything they need, I'm just an additional support for you and your child. So you can always call me. I'm easy to reach. I have the email is awilliams@teaneckschools.org, and my phone number, I believe, is listed in the PowerPoint. Mm-hmm. But anything you need emotionally, crisis, if you happen to so sometimes you're in a crisis, and it could be anything, a fire, something that drastically happens in the household. I am the resource liaison in the community. So I have a lot of resources available to help. Sometimes it's like eyeglasses or, anything, medication. I've helped kids, obtain, prescription medication, eyeglasses, clothing, shelter, food, additional packages, anything you guys may need, we are here to assist you, and I work around the clock. So I'm always on, The kids are like, Miss Williams is always on. So I'm just here to assist you. And I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to just have a couple of words, and please come and participate. And I'll be meeting with your kids next week in their health classes.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Williams, for joining us. It's and we got the technology to work. So I told you, together we'll make it work. So I just want to go through. I just want to go through a couple questions that were in the chat, and if anyone else has any questions, I know some of them are put them either place, either the Q&A or the chat, and I'll figure out where we go. I'm going to start with the two that are in the Q&A. So one question is, are there different types of high school diplomas? Mr. Book, you want to take that?
Absolutely. I don't think we're doing academic institutes any longer. So it's just one straight up diploma. You earn your 140 credits, you meet all your requirements, and you are graduate from the state of New Jersey and the wonderful Teaneck High School.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. The next question, if a student wants to start a club, who do they contact? They can actually, if they want to start a club, you want to contact Ms. Cipriano. I will put her email in the chat. It's scipriano@teaneckschools.org. She is actually the kind of like the advisor or in charge of the clubs and activities. I had a video, but I know Ms. Hidalgo went over a lot of the information, but Ms. Cipriano is the person to contact. She's also one of the grade level deans, teacher deans. So she is definitely around. And if you're unable to figure out like who to contact, stop by the school counseling office. We are, for some of the parents who may understand this reference, we're like the phone book. The new generation knows Google. So you come and let us know what you need, and we do our best to find that resource or support for you. Okay. So I'm going to go through some of the chat. So again, to get information about joining a club, you can contact Ms. Cipriano, but your child or parent or guardian, you can email your school counselor, and we will make sure that you receive the information. I believe there's another question. What is the process to start a club? You want to have interest, and then have an adult who's going to be the advisor, and then you can inform your grade level assistant principal, and they will assist you through that process. Ms. Hidalgo also offered to assist in getting information about the student clubs. There are great questions about volunteer hours. Right now, volunteer hours are not mandated graduation requirement. So traditionally it would be 60 hours, I want to say, for graduation requirement, but they have been on pause due to the pandemic. So if it does resume, you will be kind of prorated from the time it resumes to how many you will need to graduate. Community service hours are local or a high school, the district's requirement, not necessarily a state requirement. I will drop the 9th grade Google Classroom code in. I'll put both of the Google Classroom codes in again. And if you are on social media, hop on Instagram and follow Teaneck School Counseling. That the Google Classroom codes are probably in one of the posts, and I'll make sure to put it in more recently. There's the Google Classroom codes I just dropped in for both the 9th. Ooh, 10th grade kind of came up weird. Let me try that again. All right, there we go. Again, with the list of clubs, it should also be on the high school website, but just again, have your child stop by the school counseling office. Either if the school counselor is not available, Ms. Dockery and Ms. Moore are front and center ready to assist as well. The question, are there SAT prep classes? Currently, the past year and also over the summer, I did run an SAT prep program. I'm looking to start that up again, potentially in November, and definitely by December for the spring administration of the SATs. So that will be the SAT prep program that will be running out of the school counseling office. My child is in teams. So the graduation requirement for your child in teams is not different. The courses that your child takes still aligns with the graduation requirements. Did I say that right, Mr. Boat?
Yes, you did. And if I could just add one more
Yes,
thing,
please.
next year, we'll be running the SAT prep classes that we usually have. This year, we didn't have enough enrollment to run it, but it will be back next year. So if you have a child in 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, we can throw them in there and we'll get it rocking and rolling.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to give you this question, Mr. Book. Which marking period does tutoring begin?
So we're in the process of getting everything solidified with our Strive program. Once that's up and running, we'll send that announcement out. And then we also have National Honor Society peer-to-peer tutoring that will happen probably, I would say, no later than the end of this month.
Thank you, Mr. Book. Great question. Another question was typical response for correspondence with school staff. School staff tries to get back as soon as possible, but typically 24 hours for a teacher or school staff. But I appreciate the grace of the 24 to 48 hours. At times, we do the best we can to respond to emails, but please also feel free to call. If it's a school counselor in our office, we all have phones here. So please feel free to give us a call as well. Oh, great. I'm gonna give this to you, Mr. Book. What are some items that a 9th and 10th grader can discuss with their counselor? I'm going to do twofold. So we'll do Mr. Book with academics, and then Ms. Williams, if you can kind of jump in from your side of some topics that a 9th or 10th grader can discuss with you.
Well, absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. For academically, once the freshman student and sophomore students start to get in their flow and they understand how their class operates and how their teacher wants things done. But if they want more, we can show them how to elevate themselves, how with their performance. We can teach them ways to do time management, which is the most important skill that we can provide a student, because once you leave high school, as you guys know, you no longer have a school counselor, you're on your own in college. So we really emphasize self-advocacy, good work habits, and time management. And we can give you strategy for that, and we love to do that.
Awesome, thank you. Ms. Williams, what are some items a 9th and 10th grader can discuss with you?
Typically, I work a lot with a social emotional adjustment and regulating how we're feeling. So I like to deal with anxiety, stress, and understanding the rigor of the building and just navigate it and handling and balancing and organizational skills. So I help the students to really deal with the pressures of high school years and the transitions, moving through relationships with peers and understanding conflicts without resolving and, any physical altercations, So just adjusting and entering the high school, learning how to work with the teachers, appropriate language, when you need help, how to ascertain that help, how to search for, go through the library, utilize our media center and all the resources that we have available in the building. So I help them to navigate that. So everything is just dealing with stress. It's stressful, especially in the pandemic. And we are in the process now, parents, presenting the school substance abuse policy and dealing with stress and anxiety. So Mr. C, who's head of the department of the forum department, he's doing stress and anxiety, and I'm working on the school substance abuse policy and just educating them not to, violate, and understanding the rules and the conduct of the building. Because some people, they don't know the rules. And Mr. C and I are, doing the workshops in the health classrooms with stress and anxiety and how to manage and when to come from help, how to identify, and the kids are getting stress balls, they're getting pencils, like preventing vapes. We're talking about vapes and the harmful effects of the drugs that are out here on the streets. So we don't want them to engage, and we want to let them know that we are here for them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm toggling between the Q&A and the chat. How many apps does a high school use to relay information? So we do have multiple ways of providing information. There's the TNEC website, Mr. Book discussed that it's revamped. So we have the TNEC website, we have the TNEC Public Schools app, and within the app, each building has a page. So those are two methods of communication. We also utilize a school messenger, which is the email system. So if you received an email blast or even like a phone message from me reminding you of this evening, that's through our school messenger system. And out as well as parent emails, traditionally single emails, and the students have all those things plus Google Classroom. And then for the school counseling department, I also monitor our social media, Instagram for a certain generation, and because I was told that Facebook is for middle-aged moms, and I'm okay with that. That's what the student told me. So we're trying to make sure that we use multiple ways to communicate all the great things that are happening here and to provide information and resources to our school community. Mr. Book, I'm gonna give this one to you. Are AP classes more credits than regular classes or college prep or honors classes?
So it's the same amount of credits, but you have the opportunity to sit for the final exam, which if you score a certain benchmark, you can get the college credit. In terms of, does it help your weighted GPA being in an AP course? Yes, if you get an A in it, you can get as high as a 5.2, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Cooper. So it's not worth more, but it gives you more opportunity to earn college credit and get a feel for what a college course feels like.
Thank you. And just to add, we do have AP offerings for sophomores because there's AP Human Geography.
Yeah.
So if there's a sophomore that's interested in AP course, or a freshman for next year for sophomore year, and then of course there's a plethora for junior and seniors. When are students inducted into National Honor Society? Mr. Book, are you from? You want to take that one?
Yes, so I saw that question. That's a great question.
Okay.
So there's a certain unweighted GPA that has to be met, and the head of the National Honor Society and the principal and Ms. Cooper will go through that information, and you will receive an invite to apply to National Honor Society. So once you get that invitation, you have to follow the application process. And then once that happens, we'll let you know when the ceremony would be, but you don't find out until junior year around May time.
Awesome, thank you. We're coming up to 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna look through the chat to see, we talked about volunteer hours. And in terms of Google Classroom, my apologies for not clarifying, but the Google Classrooms are available for students. However, there is an option for parents to be able to receive notifications. So for example, for the school counseling Google Classroom, I can invite the parents. I do traditionally invite parents as well. For teachers, I believe they're also inviting parents so you can get notifications in terms of what may be happening within your students' Google Classrooms. But since we are, we're in person, a majority of the information in terms of instruction is happening within the traditional classroom, and possibly not as much virtually in the Google Classroom. I hope I didn't confuse anyone too much. I may have.
I know what you meant, Coop.
Book is the best. So there's a question about parent-teacher conferences and back-to-school nights. I actually dropped that information in the chat. The back-to-school night will be virtual on Tuesday, October 12th. There'll be more information coming from Mr. Valdez and the building administration, as well as parent-teacher conferences will take place on Thursday, October 28th. Again, there will be additional information coming from Mr. Valdez and the building administration. Other than someone saying, yes, Mr. Book's dog stole the show. Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
We have a couple of pet families that are in our department. Actually, the three of us all have dogs.
Yeah.
So we are a family friendly department with pets as well. I think that was all of the questions. If there are any other, oh, how many clubs can a student join?
Unlimited. It depends how much free time you have. I don't know that answer, but I see one from this question from Desiree Williams. Does a certain GPA need to be met to graduate? No, it does not. All you have to do is make sure that you meet all the requirements, and that's what you have to do. No GPA requirement.
Thank you for that. Are clubs virtual or are they in person? I believe it's going to depend on the club. I do believe most clubs are virtual, but you can contact Ms. Cipriano to give you the full list of clubs, and she'll be able to also provide you with information as to when and how they're meeting. And we're going to end off with this last question because I see the hour is just about coming to a close. And I'll give it to you, Mr. Book. What is weighted GPA versus unweighted GPA? What's the difference? Thank you.
So let me just be clear before we get into it a little bit. I'm not the best explainer of this, but I'll just say this. Colleges and universities focus on the weighted GPA, which is the value system of what you receive and the level you're taking, whether it's college prep, honors, or the AP level. There's a different value system, but that is the most important GPA. The unweighted, the reason we do that for National Honor Society is it's because we have to be able to determine which students took more honors than APs than other kids. So that's why they do it like that. So it's really just a value system and it's cumulative. So the weighted means the most.
Yes. Well, it is 8:02. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. It was great being able to present to you. And again, as Mr. Book has said, as Ms. Williams has said, as I will, reiterate, Ms. Hidalgo mentioned, we're here to support you, all of us. The 6 school counselors, Ms. Williams, Ms. Moore, Ms. Dockery, and myself, we are in the school counseling office that's located on, they call it the 2nd floor. To me, it's like the main level, the same level as the main office and next to the media center. Ms. Hidalgo and the awesome forum staff, they are located on the 1st floor, around the corner from the nurse's office. So if you ever need anything, please let us know. We are here to support. We all are. So if my office door is open, please stop in. We are definitely here to all support you in anything we can do. And thank you and have a good night.
Bye, guys.